Hey, good morning. Welcome to Writers Write. Who is ready to write? Because that's what we're here to do. Every time. I'm Ann Kimbrough. Good morning. Or good afternoon, good evening, good night. Wherever you are. You could be watching this back at any time during the day, which I hope you are. And I hope you're using it to get in 2 writing sprints. We're going to do 2 of them again. Each are 25 minutes long, and we'll get started here at 5 after my hour. But hey, Yvette, how are you? How is the world of Kindle treating you these days? I hope you've come ready to write. Let's see. Ooh, water. So I do these the first thing in the morning. I wake up. I live in a hot climate, but I wake up like totally parched. So got to have a couple glasses of water before you can get into your coffee, of course. This one. If I point to the right thing. Anyway, today I am going to work on my 10th episode for my Kindle book. And I was thinking, I believe Yvette had the tip that Kindle Vella was doing their bonuses through the year. So I was thinking I would do another experiment, because it all seems like an experiment to me. Anyway, I'm going to do another experiment, and I'm going to finish another episode, put it out, promote it. We'll see what kind of bonus I'll get for, probably not this month, for October. I'll count it to be October's bonus. But anyway, let's see. I'm going to get, we got our time. We still got another minute. I like to start our sprints at 5 after my hour. And I'm probably going to have to read a little to get back into my story. I have not looked at this in a while. So much going on. How about you? Busy? Let's see. What did I do? I'm just going to check the stream. See if... I figured Yvette would tell me if something wasn't working, but it's always good to check. What do you think? Your channel. Hey, there I am. Can't hear anything though. All right, it's working. Yeah. What's going on? Oh, so this week, little housekeeping. I'm just gonna be here Monday, today. So then I won't be back until. Well, if you have notifications on, it'll warn you. But just so we can know, what is that? Today's the 20th. I'll be back and streaming on the 1st of October. So we'll have much... No, will I? No, I won't. I lied. Gee, why can't I read this calendar? The 8th. I'll be back on the 8th. Oh, no, I take it back. I will be back. Oh, yeah. Oh, good. I'll be able to stream on the 1st. I'll just miss you on the 27th, and then I'll miss you on the 4th. I'll be able to stream on the Fridays. So I'm just going to miss 2 Mondays in a row. That's the way it works sometimes. Why isn't this working? This is wrong. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. I better look into why that wasn't there. All right, let's get started. We have 25 minutes on the clock, if I can find it. On your mark, get set, write. I was really looking at my phone far too long there, wasn't I? I was trying to figure something out. It's never a good thing this early in the morning. Hey, Allie! How are you, girlfriend? How cool that you popped in. Hope all is well, and you're part of jolly old England. Do they still call it that? It sounds so antiquated. But I hope you're good. Yeah, I want to do a shout out to all my buds I haven't. Sergio, I'm sure will pop in at some time, but I haven't seen Tim or Andrew in a while. Andrew, we haven't seen Andrew since he got married. So I assume that means things are going good. He doesn't have time to check into the stream. But if you're checking it after the fact, hi. And Rose. I know Rose is always out there working on her Kindle romance paranormal goodies. I hope you're okay in San Francisco. Oh, it's your day off, Allie. Yay. Your rabbits. Snow and Torty. Well, cool. Well, I hope all is well. You been doing any writing? Any new writing? How have your Kindle book? How your Kindle book? I'm still getting my verbs wrong there. I want it to be plural. You need more books. I know you have a new one you're working on. I hope you have some time for that. I have a lot of notes here. I got a new, I put in a new copyright-free thing called Chill Summer. Well, summer almost over, but I hear that I usually like it to be new lyrics, and I hear words. Here's a no. Oh, that's only 33 minutes. Corporate business playlist, but that doesn't say copyright free. Here's one. I don't know what this. I was just going to try some different music for a change. This one's copyright free from VMM Vlog Music Mix. Are we vlogging? Is that what this is? People, it looks like more. It doesn't look like writing music. It's not. It's not. This is like dancing. I gotta find my other one. I was checking. I'm trying to, always trying to up the quality of what I'm producing. So it's like I need some different music. So this is like a big, yeah. All right, let's see how this one goes. I like music that can just blend in. This is not anything I would sit around and listen to. This needs to be a little louder. Here we got some jazz. This is Max Relax. This sounds like what we normally use, but oh well. VVLC. No comments. I'm trying to force my muse to work. Get that muse and shake it up. Ah. Well, I believe in buying yourself something pretty. What? You said it sort of ended there. To buy myself a pretty dress. We could have fun with that. A pretty, oh, you had to go. Probably wrangle the, sounds like wrangle the rabbits. Oh man, I don't know about, I like the idea of pets, but I grew up as an Air Force brat, so we moved around a lot. I mean, 2 years is the longest we ever lived anywhere. So because of that, it's really hard to have a pet that you move around that much. So we did not have a pet, did not grow up with pets. So I guess that's why I never learned, or I just never had that I have to have a pet. I mean, during the pandemic, at the beginning of those first 3 months, my son was still trapped here in the house with us. And he and I both, we really wanted a dog. We were just like, we got to get a dog. But luckily, we couldn't go out and do it. And by the time we could get out again, we're like, yeah, it's okay. We don't need a dog. It's a lot of work. That's a lot. I mean, it's worthwhile work, but that's like it's having another kid, and I'm not ready for that. What are you doing that's crazy, Yvette? Your crazy is usually pretty smart crazy, but let's see. A database with auto. Oh, that will auto outline a story. Ooh. Cool. Where's that book? It's not a database, but I did do those idea journals. And it was to collect all those little great ideas you have for a story. I have kicked around from time to time the idea I wanted to write a outline book because I always feel like structure is my strength. Sounds like I should put that on the board over here. Structure is my strength. Those poor dogs, thousands of lockdown dogs. Oh, were they dumped in shelters? See? So I did not do that. I would not have dumped a dog in a shelter. I'm sorry. I would have changed my life for the dog, and that would have been probably as tragic because I luckily we were smart enough to know. So we had two things we kept kicking around, and we weren't serious about either. One was getting a dog, and one was getting a pool, some kind of pool, which of course you can't get a pool just like that. And we don't want a pool, and we don't want a dog. Although now my son does have a dog because he got a girlfriend. A lot of girlfriends come with dogs, so yeah. It all worked out. And it proved the point that if you have a dog in your life, you can love it, and he does, but they're a lot of work. His is. So, it sort of reinforces everything. But unfortunately, they got a dog they like, or she got a dog she likes, which is great, and they love this dog. But he's a big dog, and he's not a smart dog. He's probably like your rabbits. He's so lovable, but he's big. I mean, I want a little smart dog. One that just likes to hang with you. To just like sit right over here and go, "What you doing?" And then be happy to go, make you go out and walk. I don't really live in that sort of climate. But getting back to outlines and databases, I love that idea. I hope it works. Now, are you going to try to make this, because you're the techie gal, right? Are you going to try to make this like a database that people could use to brainstorm? There's some really weird ones out there. It's been years, but it was one where you could put in something and it gave you basically it generated this really weird log line it could be for a book or anything, but obviously it's a log line, so it's movie based. But it was weird. It was weird. And I don't think it wasn't anything more than a novelty, because it would just pop stuff in. And for writers, there are those cards. There's a deck of cards you can get that you can, I think it was also more screenwriting based, but you can pull up a card that gives you like the next plot point. I'd love to know more about that. I like those kind of tools. I think they're nice, but I always go back to brainstorming. So, obviously outlines are, I hate to say they're cut and dry, but obviously outlines have a certain structure, but they're vastly movable parts based on your plot. And also take this into consideration. Outlines change based on genre. Very important. I once knew this guy, is it John Brody? His last name was Brody. I'm probably not getting his first name right. But he was a TV writing guru. He wrote on like some comic, was it Silver Surfer? I don't know if that's DC or well, I think it's the other, which I can't remember. No, I can't. MC or DC? AC, DC. No. Anyway, not Marvel. I think it was Marvel. But anyway, the Silver Surfer. He used to work on that animated TV show. And so, of course, obviously it was a half-hour show, which means it's really like a barely 20-minute show for kids' TV. And he knew how to outline. And he knew how to outline because he knew that there are certain scenes in every story that you tell. And obviously, for a comic book story, it was very clear what those scenes were. So, especially if it was a 20-minute show, he could plug in all the scenes he knew had to be there. It had to be this kind of scene. The action, there had to be the villain. There had to be something for the good guy to fix. I don't know, whatever his things were, he knew those. And then he would plug in what was missing based on the story elements he put into the original ones. So that's a place to start. It's the scenes that have to be there. Start with those. But they're based on genre. So, my little tip. That you probably don't need. Let's see. You don't like dogs, Allie? Are you a cat person? No, you're a rabbit person. Oh, that's good that rabbits are lovable. Uh, but your rabbits ignore you? I just sort of sense that rabbits just ignore people. I mean, not like cats ignore them, but um. Oh, it's just for you, Yvette's outliner. Well, that's a good place to start. That's how good ideas start. They're just for me, and then money making idea, just for your friends to test it out. You're being attacked by a rabbit? Down, Snow, down. Can you talk to them? Do they understand English yet? You write in 4 genres. Well, that's pretty big. Ronald Dan Cleva, did I say that right? Hello? What are you writing? We're in the midst of our first writing sprint. As you can tell, I'm writing away. I tend to talk too much. But I write after. These just launch my creative juices. Creative juices. That sounds weird. Anyway. Oh, I wish you luck with the outlining program. Oh, can you hear the garage door? I hear the garage door. My husband's leaving home. Not home. He's leaving for work. This is late for him. He's never here this late. It was because he was going to the Life is Beautiful concert. Boy, he took some pictures, like stealthily. He was like my little spy. He took some pictures because that is not my scene. I like music, but I'm not going to go stand for hours and watch it. And I don't like big crowds. Seriously, if I can avoid them. And honestly, the crowds, he showed me the pictures. It was especially in today's age where it freaks me out still a bit to see big crowds of people. Like if you tune into sporting events and stuff, you're like, wow, look at all those people. It's amazing. There was a big testing thing you had to pass to get in. So, fingers crossed. There were all these hoops you have to jump through. Although I did just see something about how many illegal, I guess they're illegal, vaccination cards our border police are catching. Our mail police and border police are catching coming through the mail from China. That's what they said. I was like, yeah, knew that would happen, right? Snow understands no. Oh, and your other rabbit is smart. It knows the word but ignores it. See, rabbits are more like cats. They're lovable cats when they want to be. So that's really like a cat. That's too funny. Oh my gosh. I don't really know where I am with this episode. All right, there's that. I actually did outline it. I outlined my episode. I assume, Yvette, though, that your main outline is for your overall book, right? So in a way, are you just collecting like what could happen? So I have a good friend named Chris Soth, and he wrote the mini movie, the $1 million mini movie method. A lot of M's. Yeah, it's based on sequences, which are also a really great way to think of outlining. And of course, this is still screenplays, but I think screenplays are obviously to me, a good place to look at when you're outlining, because outlines are everything in screenwriting, where in books, they're a little more loosey-goosey. They're more flexible. That's the good word. They're more flexible. Outlines are not flexible in movies, unless you're doing something avant-garde, which there's no reason you can't, but it's really good to have that discipline of knowing how to structure an outline, because people watch movies and they expect certain things to happen at certain places. And if you don't know that and you're just winging it, that's why a lot of scripts and a lot of movies you go watch, when you go watch them and go, oh, there was something just off about that movie. It's usually several things, but one of them is usually the structure, because that's something that feels off to us because we've been so conditioned to watch films and TV shows, especially TV shows when they used to have to end on a, on a commercial break. We really were conditioned for outlines. So when that rhythm is off and you can't find the right rhythm or something close to it, to me, that's one reason why film and TV shows that you watch now could fail or feel just not as good. Something makes you not like it. You just don't know why. It's the structure. Now, when it comes to books, I don't know if that's, I feel like structure is bigger in the sense of it's more elastic, and it really allows you to experiment or not have to hit milestones. I think what's important in book writing is pacing. It's not fun to read books that don't go anywhere. You feel like you're just sort of bogged down in the action or the drama, and you're like, well, what's this about? So to me, it's the pacing with books is far more important to plot than maybe structure. I don't know. I'll think about that more. Just another night. Oh, just the other night. I love that you can ride on the bus with your coworker and have a chat. Oh, there was a huge rave and crazy goings on. See? People are just like over it. But I mean, if everyone was, I don't want to be a vax kind of girl, but if there was a way, if there was some magical way to get everybody safe, it would be nice. Her rave is going home and lying in bed to read a book. I love that. Oh, I see. Well, you're smart. You got to get those rabbits tired. Plus your little munchkin. Get them tired so they sleep all night and don't wake you. Because aren't they nocturnal? 6 sequences. Okay, cool. Then you can switch them together. That's smart. Okay, if that's working. I know you know what you're doing. I'm just throwing out things until you tell me otherwise. Yeah, sequences for screenplays, there's 8 because because it's a 3-act structure. Screenplays are technically a 3-act structure, although they really break down as a 4-act structure, but we still say 3 acts. Always say act 2 is 2A and 2B. And there's 2 sequences in every of these acts, sections. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Anyway, if you wanted to know more about sequences for films, which might apply, look for Chris Soth. S-O. Here, I'll just type it in the... I haven't even gotten into the chat. I can read the chat, but I can't type in it. Let's see. Oh no, this isn't gonna make... Oh yay, it worked! The first time! Maybe it works... Oh no, it didn't. It just looked like it worked. I do not understand. And there's no word... I don't think I can Google this. Alright, that's not gonna work. I'll try again. Say something. I would if I could. But I'm gonna type his name in for you. Still not happening? Alright, sometimes it seems like it won't work unless I click into my YouTube channel and see myself. Hi, self. There I am. Am I? Yeah, there I am. Now I have to do it all again. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome, but what? There I did it and I got a different outcome. Alright, I'm going to type it up just so you can check him out. This is Chris Soth, $1 million mini movie method. I think that's it. Okay. It might help your search. I mean, obviously, maybe you could, I haven't been to his, I thought it was on Amazon, but I'm not sure. He has a website. There might be some free information there. Maybe. Maybe. They aren't nocturnal? Oh. That's good. I was afraid they were, because then they'd keep you up. Oh. So they like to come out when they think other animals won't eat them. Haven't you told them yet they're safe in your... Just joking. Just joking. Let's see. I'm gonna read this. But I do have all this outline stuff at the beginning of it. And some dialogue. So I've been minded this music. How does it sound to you guys? Little jazzy piano. Makes me a little sleepy. I need my coffee. 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes to write. Or to have a little break and get our coffee. Yay! Let's gonna look. I just had a thought. This week I could do a writing sprint on Wednesday since I can't do it on Friday. Would you guys want to do Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time? Let me know. I hate to just throw in a new day when I'm now locked into my Monday Fridays, but it means we get more work done, or at least you could. Okay, I know I've read this line a million times. Oh, stretching. I don't stretch enough. Do you? My muscles are like... Yeah, I'm swimming today. I swam on Saturday, so I usually don't swim this close together. It would be normally Tuesday, so it's just one day. But I wonder if I'll be feeling that. I better stretch. Lately, well, I'll talk about it at the break. Remind me. I won't remember. I'll write it down. Oh, Allie, you're off on Friday, and I'm like, I'm gonna miss the next 2 Fridays. Sorry. What will you do without me? You can go watch an old episode, one that you missed, or one that I talked to you, and you can just see what we said. Oh, that's funny. Aw. But yay, you're off. Now you really have it free to just like go out and have your rave in your bedroom. That's funny. I mean, honestly, before the pandemic, I would not go to a rave, but that's just because I'm not that girl. And I'm not in my 20s anymore. I don't know. I honestly can say I've never been to a rave, but I did shoot a commercial once. I was a production assistant on a commercial that the commercial was a rave. And it was I forget if it was like Toshiba or something. So everybody at the rave had on these headphones. So it was all about how this rave that they're just dancing around. You can't hear anything because they're all listening to it through their headphones. So now, of course, that doesn't seem strange at all. But at the time, that was so cutting edge. And we filmed it at this old abandoned warehouse in LA. And the thing is that everything around there was abandoned. And so we were trying to clean up. There was like bird crap everywhere. Oh, I heard that, but I just can't find the box. Ah. Our first writing sprint is done. Da, da, da. Let's hope you did some good work today. Let's see. Coffee time. I made the mistake of yesterday of having a decaf coffee, thinking that will be better for me. I had a headache by noon, so I had to go out and get Starbucks. So today I'm having my hazelnut mocha Pete's. This is good coffee. There we go. The magic is brewing. The magic addictive yumminess is brewing. Take a picture of your rabbit and post it on Instagram so I can see it. That's how we communicate now, right? So anyway, that rave, that was a commercial, that felt like a real rave. I mean, there was a room full of people in this old shell of a brick factory. That was crap. Like, part of my job was that had been so many birds that had pooped everywhere that we were trying to clean it up a little bit, which that's not healthy. I found out afterwards that breathing all that bird poop is not good for you. So luckily I didn't get sick. And I was, young and dumb. All right, what I was going to tell you, I made myself a note and I did see it. Yeah, instead of stretching, lately what I've been working on is breathing right. Do you breathe right? It's kind of great and important for your body to get oxygen, obviously, but it's good for your digestion, and I don't know, it's kind of part of that whole knowing your core. So yeah, I would like to get into yoga. I am slowly, because I've let go some of those muscles. Just seemed like they don't exist in my body, so when I move them the right proper way, they complain. But yeah, so mostly though, just working on breathing correctly. There's a lot of YouTube videos that help with that. What's funny is that the best one I saw was like how they teach people, everyone always says, well, if you're feeling stressed, you should meditate. But no one knows how to just sit there and turn off their thoughts. And that breath work is actually the best way to get into meditation because you're counting. So it's a lot of counting, like 4 breaths in, 4. It's about breathing less, but getting the same amount of oxygen you should get. And in doing that, you're slowing down your heart rate. It's so loud. And it's healthier, right? And it gets more oxygen to where it goes. And I have known that my breathing has been bad for years. And they say, if you read anything, it is bad. For everybody has bad breathing because we're trained over time. Even when we're children, we if you look at people, if you are breathing and your shoulders are going up, or if you're breathing shallow or holding your breath a lot, you can really feel it that it's here. And you should be breathing that your belly comes out and your whole midsection feels like it comes out. And then when you breathe out, all that sucks in. And I'm sure I was breathing the opposite way, or I was shallow breathing or holding my breath, because I always clench my teeth, and that's got to come from not breathing. So I'm changing my ways slowly. And it does. I do feel better for doing it. And anyway, that kind of all leads into probably yoga. So we'll see. We'll see if I can get myself situated. But first, there's coffee. I'm sure that coffee is probably not on the yogi list of things. But everyone's got to have some addiction, right? I would like mine to be books and coffee. All right? Alrighty. It feels a little hot. I gotta say that I think this Keurig machine makes things hotter than my new one downstairs. Yum. All right. Let's get our next 25 minutes on the clock. Are you ready? Oh, I just hid the timer again. On your mark. Get set. Right. And drink. Oh no. Okay, we're off and running. Or sprinting. Oh yeah. Girl's gotta have her coffee. Sorry, that was very slurpy. It's hot. Girl's gotta have her coffee, and I think I dripped and not burn her tongue. Nah. It's so much fun. I remember when I got married, my girlfriends, when they get up and they kind of roast you a little bit to tell your husband what he should expect to be living with or whatever. One of the things my roommate said is that when I eat, that I kind of mumble like I don't like the silence of people sitting at a table. So if there's some silence, I would make like happy sounds like or something, something like that. It was really funny, but something I didn't know that I did. But then I sort of listened, and so yeah. So now I don't do that. So it's good to get roasted from time to time. I also don't feel like I sit at a table and have dinner anymore. Do you do that? I mean, I'll do it obviously when people come over, but who comes over anymore? So I guess my son and his girlfriend do from time to time. So when they come over, we sit at a table. But my husband and I every night, no, we eat dinner in front of the TV. Which can be awkward because we cook good stuff. He's a really good chef, and I'm really good at cleaning the dishes. No, I like cooking. I like it. I always was under the assumption that if you can read, you can cook, because you can read a menu or a menu. Sure, that really helps. You can order and read a menu. No, you can read a recipe. So I like to cook, but I tend to like to be the dessert chef. I like to cook desserts, but not so much anymore. I try to eat healthier. You don't have a table. Well, see, there you go. We have 2 tables, and we don't use them either. I would send one to you if I could, because I don't need them both. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, I use my dining room table is it's usually my office. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if my husband ever went, "Oh my gosh, please clean your office," because my office is really the whole house. I'm everywhere now. After this pandemic, I'm like, well, I could do something over there, there. I like to move around when I write, and I have a laptop. Have a laptop will travel. And whoa, that's a callback for a really old show that's way older than me. There was a TV show once with Steve McQueen, Have Gun Will Travel. And it was written that weird because it was a telegram. Do you even know what a telegram is? And he was a gun for hire in the Old West, and he would get these telegrams, and I guess that was his, maybe it was an ad he placed. I don't know. I've probably seen one episode of it, but I knew about it because it was Steve McQueen. And if you don't know about Steve McQueen, oh, you should know about Steve McQueen. He was cool. Cool actor. Mostly I like his movies. That was the TV show how he started out. But he did some really fun action movies, really cool cars. All right. We're focusing, people. You're focusing. I know that you guys mute me. That's what you should. I fully endorse muting so you get your work done. All right. What? Okay, I need to go back. Like I said, I outlined this episode, but I've been playing with it far too long. You know what? Sometimes when you're overworking, that is one of my rules. If I have any rules when it comes to writing, and I have some, it is that you shouldn't keep rewriting the same stuff, right? Right. You need to progress. When I started my screenwriting learning, I had a lot of screenwriting friends. I still do, which I highly think it's important to have a writing community around you, even if you're all just learning it. And I knew I had a lot of friends that they would keep writing the opening, so they'd keep writing the first act of their script. And I found that way when I first started writing. I was writing, stories, books, and I would write like the first 30 pages, it seemed, or the first chapter. The first chapter was really good. And then they kind of, and so that was part of the process of learning how to write properly, is that it's easier to write if you know what you're going to write. And that's where outlines come in. And that's why I'm a big outline advocate, because you can think through storylines. But I like outlining, like in screenwriting, it's called a beat sheet. And that means that you write like little paragraphs of what each of these plot points are. It's not just a one word on a page in this list, because that too is quite intimidating and you have to think through it. So it is a matter of if you can think about it as just a little review of that scene that tells you, like if you had seen a movie and someone gives you a little couple paragraph review of the movie, like what happened in it, what happened in I don't know what went down in what was the newest movie out, I don't know, Beckett. Did you see Beckett on I didn't like it, but it's on Netflix. It's a new, I like the actor, but anyway, I could do a little blurb of every scene of that, every plot point of that movie. Although, no, I'm not going to review it. It just didn't go where I thought it was going to go. And the poor guy gets beaten up all through it. And you're just like, okay, this isn't fun. It wasn't fun to watch. Anyway, I digress. But that's a good way to do an outline. Not just a one-word outline, but a little blurb about each of those sections that you're plotting. Beginning, middle, end. Well, different things happen at different points of stories, so that's important to know. But once again, genre matters. So how do you know the plot points of genre? You need to read books in that category, which that should be the easiest part. Or, you need to watch movies. That's the thought behind my book. I don't have my books anymore. I dropped one. So my 100 script challenge. That's the whole point. That they always said that you read 100 scripts, you'll know how to write because you're learning from them, right? So that's why I created this. So it's just simple, and it goes through stuff that you need to know. Oh, you're supposed to actually read the script, not just you're not watching a movie, but I do have you seen the movie of the script? There's all these questions you answer, and then you write down what you learned from that script. It would probably work quite well if you were writing paranormal romance or something, and you read 100 paranormal romance novels and you wrote that down too. To me, what's good about that is very often when you're breaking a story, if you have something like that you could run through, heck, you could just go to Netflix or any streamer that you like, and you could Google, you first Google like the top 50 movies in whatever genre you're writing, and you don't have to be writing a script, but say you're writing a book, you could Google the top 50 horror films if you're writing something. Or I guess you could put in paranormal, see what comes up. I mean, it's going to be less in some areas, but then go to Netflix and try to find those and read at least a blurb about them. You could find that online, even if you can't find the movie. But those are the kind of things that if you watch those, you can take notes, and that's a great way to start with a list of elements that are in the kind of story you're writing. And then when you're breaking your own story, you can read through those. And then some of the best movies you'll see pay homage to other stories that came before it in that genre. And you can do the same thing. A lot of times I really like, when I'm writing, I like to pull from other genres, because then it's even more removed. I mean, in some ways it sounds like, oh, hey, I'm going to write an action film. I'll go pull something from Die Hard. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying duplicate a scene somewhere, but one of my great ones is Silence of the Lambs. To me, Silence of the Lambs had a really great ending where the main character, spoilers, and so she's with the FBI. So the main character looks like she's making this, just checking up on something and visiting some home and just checking off the box. She's making should be innocent, nothing wrong kind of move. And then the main FBI, which she's been left out of this task force now, they think they're tracking down the killer, and they're going to bust into this house where the killer is. And they cut between these two scenes, and it turns out they're actually flopped in the sense of she's actually at the killer's house and they aren't. And how it plays out is really dramatic, because she's doing something that seems mundane and innocent and easy and nothing's going to go wrong, and they're doing something that seems really tense, and they've got their weapons and everything, and then you're surprised. Then suddenly she realizes she's at the killer's house, and of course the others know they aren't. They don't know that she's in trouble. And that's a really great structure for a scene. And so you could take that, and I've seen it since then. That was the first time when Jonathan Demme was the director, and I 100% believe he was behind how that played out. I haven't seen the script, so maybe it started back. Directors do have influence on scripts, and I don't know, did he write that? I don't know if he wrote that. But anyway, I would say it was totally a director move, but it's a great plot. It's not a trick, but it's a great plot tool to have that surprise. That's great. It added a lot of tension and a great amount of surprise, and it was spot on for a thriller, a horror story, and I think it could be used in other ways. And since then, I have seen other movies use it. Different kind of movies. I'm like, oh, that's the Silence of the Lambs ending. But just because I'm a writer, I notice it. To me, it's completely used authentically in these other films as well. But if you ask me, that's where it came from. So I feel like that's really a cool thing to do, to keep a list. I remember being in some kind of art designer class, and they used to say that, artists and designers have these clip books. I think it's like a clip book. So back in the day when there were a lot of magazines, they would pull tear sheets out of magazines because they saw something they liked, and they would put it in there. So if you were like an interior designer, then you'd have this collection of really cool looking rooms, and when you went to design, you could go through it and it would inspire you, and you pull a little here, you pull a little there. And I think as writers that we could do that. And so maybe if that's database can help her do that as well. I really do want you to create it and then sell it for our consumption, please. Writers of all genre and disciplines love tools like that. You gotta do it. But you do have me thinking, I still want to write some kind of outline book. To me, it's so much more than any kind of nuts and bolts. There's no formula, right? There's no real formula. But I can't stress enough how important it is to know the medium you're writing in, the genre you're writing in, by consciously studying. I mean, I'm assuming you like that stuff anyway, so you're writing it, reading it, watching it, reading it anyway. But you have to study it. That's a different part of your brain. That's not the part that's on when you're consuming something for entertainment. Knowledge. You are building knowledge, so that's good. But you need to be aware of what you're doing, because that's the only way you can duplicate it. As writers, we don't want to just get lucky. You want to know what you're doing so you can keep doing it over and over and over again successfully. Dramatic beginnings. Cool. Well, I imagine you should have some examples, right, from other works. Are you going to include stuff like that? Like what I was just talking about with Silence of the Lambs ending? Dramatic beginnings. I'm trying to... It's all a dream. I hate those beginnings. I once had a screenwriting, I took some class, some NYU. It was like a continuing ed class. It's just a one-off thing before I was really a screenwriter. Well, am I really a screenwriter? I don't know. before I knew how to screenwrite. That's a safe thing to say. And the teacher had, he had his things. I liked him. He was a nice guy. Can't remember his name. But one of the things is that characters, the story should not begin in a bedroom. I guess he'd read a lot of scripts from students about characters that it just started inside in a bedroom. And that is sort of a dynamic deal where movies are supposed to begin outdoors. They're not supposed to begin so tiny. I don't know if that's true. Rules are meant to be broken, but... Oh, cool. Well, I think it sounds like you're off to a great start, Yvette. Yeah, there's a lot of good info out there. That is definitely a song that's on the other track. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, that's how it's done. I mean, there's no you're not reinventing the wheel, right? Another old saying. I don't know how I guess that came from ancient times. I don't even know. I'd have to Google it. Yeah, you're gonna put it through your own lens completely, not just in your own words. You're interpreting what others have come before and spoken. Yeah, none of this dinner time. Woo woo. Here's my dinner. Cheers. Coffee dinner. Yeah, I haven't had breakfast yet. Trying to figure out what to have. Breakfast. There's such a small amount of food that you can have for breakfast, I feel. See, I'm moving on. I'm not going to talk about outlining anymore. I think Yvette's set. She knows what she's doing. She doesn't need my input. But I want to know how it goes. Keep us posted, Yvette, on that project. I think that's a good one. Somewhere along the way, I felt like I learned enough to share my knowledge, and so just sprinkling it here and there is what I do. Because I never feel like I want to get to the point where I'm not going to teach people. That's not... there's plenty of good teachers out there, and I'm just sort of a pop-up shop of of spreading my knowledge. Yeah, I see that, Yvette. So you're using this as a way not to write. You are creating a database. You have to do it from time to time. See, that to me is like when I've done my journals, my coloring journals and stuff. To me, those are also a little... It's like doodling. If you're an artist, you doodle. You have to have some other stuff that seems... that works a different part of your brain. So I support it. Cereal for dinner? You want me? Well, then we'd be on the same... Oh, that's good to hear. You're buy me a book or buy me a coffee. Hey, you could change it to buy me a book. It did say that you could you could change it to anything you want. Buy me a coffee. Good. Yeah, so that's a big part. While I'm off right now, on my little journeys, I am going to focus because I can't stop doing nothing. But I am going to focus on doing all my promo material and solidifying those plans, show notes. I've got a lot to do for the podcast launch on October 31st. So I'll need, I do already have the buy me a coffee. After you had mentioned it, I was like, oh yeah, I did that. So I went and found it and found the link and the password. So now I need to, that's a good, I think it's a good start for trying to make some money with this new endeavor, the podcast. I'll be sure to promote it here. I was lazy today. I just left this one up. Excuse me. Plus, it matches my red. Yeah, I've had fun this week. Last couple days, I was making a ton of the cards for the front of your YouTube videos. I've done a few for the Writers Write, and I don't know if I like them. I sort of just did a few and threw them up there. I don't know. After getting watching some videos on how to make ones that catch the eye. I don't know. I honestly, the ones which is just a picture of me here like this seem to do as well, if not better, than the ones that I made some cards for, some opening card, But I've been making those for the I Scary YouTube videos because we're going to do a whole bunch that are going to promote as we start to build out that channel. Oh my gosh. We only have 3 minutes left. What have you done, Nan? I've had a nice chat with my friends. That's what I've done. Bunny love. Is the first one snow? I did see the pictures online. I mean, on Instagram. Cute. Cute white bunny. They're so sleepy. I bet that, can you then hold them now and they fall asleep in your arms? And then they have, what kind of sound does a rabbit? Is it like a purr? Do they make a soft breathing sound? Do they know how to breathe properly? It helps with your posture too if you breathe properly. I don't know. As writers, we just tend to keep creeping over. So, if you think of breathing from your stomach and making your whole middle section expand, like you should feel a breath through the sides of your ribs or the sides of the core, like where your belly button is, all around there, it should feel it go out. Back, side, forward, you should feel your belly. See, rabbits just probably know how to breathe. They don't even have to think about it. Unlike humans. We've so not been thinking about it, we do it wrong. It was interesting, the article I was reading said that about age 5, most human people stop breathing properly because something happens, like, you get injured or you pull something, or I don't know, you just move wrong, and it teaches you to breathe improperly, not breathe as deeply for a little bit, and then it becomes a habit. And the problem is the majority of us start breathing in a way that's much more like fight or flight. So if you are breathing like you're in the fight or flight mode, then you're stressing yourself out. And that's why breathing properly gets you out of that stress zone and allows I think it's called the parasympathetic, to sort of take over and calm you down. So it's a good way to start if you're feeling stressed. The one that they call, this one guy, I liked what he discussed how different kind of breathing is, like either water or whiskey. What was the other one? But basically water, you can drink water anytime during the day. Whiskey you should drink, only when at the end of the day, all right? Not as much. So it's a kind of breathing that helps you really calm down and go to sleep. So water breathing is just like, it's a breathing in, or breathing on a count of 4, and then breathing out on a count of 4. I keep burying this sucker. All right. Ah! And our second writing sprint is done. Yay! High five. Congrats. You did it. I'm proud of you. Even if you just came here and listened to me babble, I thank you for that. But you were here, and your mind is now turned on to writing. That little switch, that writing switch is like, yeah, I can do it. Honestly, to me, this is just like, it's my big motivation. I love the community that we have here, and all of that makes the rest of my day, which is all writing, almost all writing all the time. It makes me go, oh yeah, I'm doing it. Even if I'm not doing it right here with you, it does help me with that whole continued motivation every day. And I hope it helps you. All right. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you loose on the world to be your creative bad selves. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. I probably will pop in on Wednesday just for the fun. We'll see if anybody finds me. Just because I mean, I don't want to miss my writing sessions, but I am going to be off the next 2 Fridays. I think. I can't remember. No, I think I'm going to be off the next Friday and the next Monday. That's it. So I'll be back in 2 Fridays. Hit the notification bell somewhere down here. There's a notification bell. If you haven't already, I think you have to subscribe and notify, and then it will tell you when I'm live. It's just like annoyingly nice that way. Anyway, I will miss you guys while I'm away, but I shall return, and we will do more Writers Write and more writing sprints, and you'll get more done. You can mute me some more. Until then, always check in. You can always watch an old recording. That is allowed. Bye, Allie. Thanks for tuning in. Yvette, thanks for tuning in. All the best with your database. And all my other buddies out there, I wish you well. And happy writing. Until